but it's full of, I don't know what these are. Anybody know what these are? Hey, welcome back to the channel. I Know Enough to Be Dangerous Farm. I'm standing in the middle of what's left of the carnage. This is day 2 on the pole barn build. So today we're going to pick up the remaining firewood and debris on the ground and level off the site, make like a makeshift pad. But this is just a pole barn that's going to house the tractors. You know, we want it, you know, sturdy and everything, but the floor is just going to have a compacted crusher run floor. We'll put down a vapor barrier and then crusher run and do the plate compactor on top of it, and that'll be good for now. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to clean up the miscellaneous stuff, make the pad, try to get it level as possible, and hopefully set some poles and some bracing, and hopefully we get that far today. So thanks for joining me today, and enjoy. Whatever this is, don't ever touch this stuff. It's got little hairs. I don't know if this is nettles or what, but it feels like nettles. These handles on this particular tractor are very spring loaded, so be careful when you release them. And always keep your feet out of the way. Clear off or flatten the pad, make sure there's nothing in there we don't know about. I think for this job either a back blade or a box blade is the best fit. The land plane, I don't like pushing with that. I like, you know, going forward with that one. But I did have crusher run in here back in the day. We used to display trees here. It's the only area that was open. So I'm gonna continue, get this stuff flat, and then we can see what we're dealing with here. concrete there. What do you think? This is all fill. This bank was all filled in by the previous owner, and that drops off, and that's another 10 feet or 15 feet that way. It's not our land, but it drops off like a hammer. We'll clean this up after we'll clean this area up afterwards, but I think we got enough room for our pad. So first row of poles going in. I use this corner as my benchmark starting the building because there is just a ton of chunks of concrete in this fill in this corner. So, and I'm going to drill this one first, and if we got to move it, we're not messing up the whole building. So we're going to drill this one first. So I got the locust post set. This is crazy. These things have been cut a year and a half. They threw new growth this year. So I'm going to show you how to set a natural locust post with a forklift by yourself. Please do not do this at home. So progress report, we got the locust post in, and now we're going to get the taller telephone poles, this last row. It's already getting put to use. Just want to do a little dry fit. The dimensions of this thing so I could have the bucket or forks on and an implement and still be parked in the... Right now I don't have anything big enough I can keep even the bucket on, let alone have something on the back of the tractor. Still geeking out about these locust posts. Were cut last year and they threw about 12 inches of new growth. Pretty much all of them did. It's wild. Pain in the butt's going to be getting the bark off so I could nail to the wood. But it's coming along. Today we're going to get the last remainder of the posts up and then hopefully tie everything in and put some braces up there. And a lot of these holes are, it's all fill from previous owner. So there's a lot of hand digging. One little scoop at a time.
Can't do that.
All right, so I got all the poles, and the front taller poles we used actual telephone poles recovered from the corn crib that was next to this building. I just want to point one thing out. For some reason, you know, in New York, you got to do a dig safe, and I do that all the time. So anyways, the first time, like 6 years ago, we had it done, and the guy was very thorough, and he said, you know, you have a communication line that goes way into your property, like 100 feet, and then curves over and kind of divides your front property in half. It doesn't go along the road with all the other ones, and it just makes a 90-degree angle, actually goes under one of our existing buildings. And I said, well, good thing you said something, because we were going to put a pole barn kind of behind you, and now we put it here. But yesterday, as I was digging the first hole, I said, oh, something, that communication line comes through here somewhere. So it takes them like a week to 10 days to get out of here. And then let me back up a little bit. The last 2 times we had a mark out done, they didn't even find this line. I had to tell them it was going through the middle of my property. So then they came back and found it, but basically they put the little flags right where I painted it that it was. So I don't know if there was any actually getting out and wanding it. They just put the little flags there. But anyways, fast forward to yesterday, I remembered that communication line. I kind of had a good idea where it was within 20 feet, because the last time it was done, I actually put a flag there, but somebody got crazy with the box blade and just pushed all the stuff and covered up that flag. But anyways, I knew where it came to my neighbor's property down below the hill, and I kind of knew where it was over there. So I tried to do a straight line. It's not in a straight line, but then I remember I'm pretty good at something that I'm going to take a lot of heat for. We call them dowsing rods up here. I don't know what you call them, but I couldn't find my good set. I actually made a good set with handles and all that stuff. I don't buy stuff, I make stuff, you know that by now. But I did have some 10 gauge direct burial wire, and I stripped about 2 feet of it. You notice it's not very straight because it's 10 gauge electrical wire. So I stripped it out, and if anybody strips direct burial, it was a chore. And then I have these 2 pieces, so I just put a 90 on them. So this is about 18, and that's about 6 there. Okay, I got 2 of them. Hold them in your hand, away from the 90. I know I'm going to take heat for this, but I'm pretty good at this. And that line, I've determined with my dowsing rods, goes right here. It's not just for water, boys and girls. It goes right through here where I've painted it. And if you can see that paint, that purple paint goes right through there. And I'm going to do a live recorded demonstration on these will cross right where this paint is. So you start them like this, get them to stop. There's no wind today, as you can see the sweat coming off my head. See, I can already feel it crossing them. And then when I step across it, it opens it back up. It even goes in reverse. So I know what you're thinking. I'm moving it with my fingers or something crazy like that. I knew you were going to say that. So I got a couple 4, 5, 6 inch nipples, doesn't matter. So it goes right in there. So I'm not even touching it. This has got a little curve and a spider's nest. I just bent it. Probably won't work now. Okay. Now I got it like this. All right, let's do it again. Start them open, get them calmed down. Works even faster in these pipes. See? And if I walk through it, opens it back up. If I back up, right there. It's wherever that paint is. I go back out. I'll put it even in the front. You can notice I'm not doing anything here. Get the paint. Paint's right here. Get them calmed down. Try to hold them level. Crosses exactly over that painted line. And I come closer to you. And it opens back up. Back up. It's already crossing. Like I said, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, but this isn't witchcraft. You know, there's some crap on the internet, but that was a live recorded demonstration. 2 pieces of wire that I just bent and put it in these nipples, so there's no friction, no way I can even touch them. This has saved me. I used to be a contractor, and this has saved me a bunch of times. I used to get laughed at a lot, but I found pole lights off a driveway from the house. Nobody knew where it was. I found invisible dog fence with these things. Nobody knew where it was, and it was like right in line where we're going to put a wall or something. So these things have saved me, and I didn't hit. I had how many chances here? 12 chances to hit that fiber optic line, or not fiber. It's copper. It does find sewer lines too, so I don't think it's the plastic thing. I don't know what it is, but it's not a hoax or anything. But these are dowsing rods that I made, and I found that line so I wouldn't hit them. I kind of positioned these poles here, these first and second poles, so I would not hit that communication line. So leave comments if you've tried this, if you think it's BS, but I just showed you there's, you know, I'm not smart enough to do any tomfoolery with this, so tell me what you think. So here we are at the pole barn build. Little update here. We got all the posts in yesterday. We framed out the face, the top. The rafters will come off the top of that board. I'm not sure what it's called. This piece of I-beam, 12-inch I-beam, I cut a notch in that locust post that we set. So we're going to attempt to lift it up on top of that, and that'll be one of the main beams that support the rafters. We're going to use the TYM 574. The lifting doesn't seem to be a problem. One thing with the hydrostatic is not, it's a little herky-jerky, I guess, is what I want to say. So this post was the shortest post that we had. Don't know why I put that in the middle. I should have put that in the back because the back is going to be lowered. It's a shed roof. So this is what we're using as a benchmark for the middle of the pole barn, is the top of the shortest post. It happens to be 103 inches, so we're good to go even if we wanted to park the TYM in that bay. But this piece of I-beam has been moved around on the tree farm since we've owned the place 6 years, and we're finally going to put it to use, and then we'll put like a chain fall thingamajigger on that and lift really heavy stuff. I'm not sure what we'd lift, but just to use it for something. I'm tired of moving it around, and it's a nice piece of iron is just going to waste. So we'll put that in there and probably put the date when we built the barn on there or something like that. So let's see if we can get it on top there. if that's 101, this thing over here has got to be 100. This side, the lifting, max lifting must be 102 because I just made it. I just made it there. So the max lift on this 574 must be 102 inches. Let's see if I can drop it down there. Come a little further there. It's right on the edge. I want to get it in the middle, I guess. I'm hoping I can do it with the tractor. I don't have to get on the ladder. Yeah, that was max lift. I had to curl the bucket to get that off that lip there. So mental note there. I'm gonna come on this side of this thing and lift it up and get it more centered. Hopefully it doesn't pull away on that side. That looks like the middle to me. This looks like the middle to me. Now I pushed the post a little bit, so I'll have to replumb that thing. But I think it's where it's supposed to be. Do you ever wish you just had like an easy day and everything went right? So nothing bad happened there, but that was a little nerve-wracking for me. The hydraulic controls on that aren't very smooth. Like both New Hollands, very smooth and faster. That's the only knock on this TYM, is the hydraulics are slower than my 24 horse New Holland. That's the only knock, and I knew that going into it because I test drove the thing. It will get faster if you just give her the grapes on the diesel, but man, sometimes you just like to. But it's even worse when you give it the grapes on the diesel and rev that bad boy up so it goes faster. It's even worse being herky-jerky. It's not smooth though. But we got this up. Let's secure it and then move on. All right, bay 2. We're gonna set the middle header, and it's gonna be more of a sandwich around that I-beam and then set on here. And this is some more rough cut. That span, the middle bay span, is about 11 feet. The other one is a little bit wider. That I-beam is 13 feet long, 12 inch I-beam. Sorry, it's hot out. So now I got those up there halfway. I'll screw them together, and then this is sandwiched, and I'll put a block underneath that to raise that up, so that's the crown, so that's the top. So here's the latest update. I got one rafter in, starting to do some bracing. We're getting more rafters in. Got some inside bracing here. I was going to, as I was putting the bracing, you gotta, remove the bark where it's gonna contact, and I was gonna remove all of it, but it's full of, I don't know what these are. Anybody know what these are? Let me know. But that's one inside brace. These are locust posts. I was just gonna let the bark fall off, but it's kind of bothering me now. So, and this is maple that we cut out of the woods that were falling down.